So that's the ultimate irony. Just like as Trump has become everything that he used to rail against, he used to be against censorship. He used to be against foreign wars. He used to be for workers. He used to be for ending the U.S. debt and money printing. He did everything he was. He's the exact opposite. Same thing with these conservatives who were against the snowflakes on campuses who didn't want to have conservatives speak. Well, now they're the snowflakes. Let me throw it over to Garland Nixon. Go ahead, Garland.
Well, the whole thing's a fraud, Jimmy. We see this girl doing like that flop was worthy of like LeBron James. You know those viral videos where like somebody shadow crosses LeBron James and he flies up in the air like he was hit by a Mack truck. So she's flopping to a flag, and of course the girl that was supposedly crying, kind of reminiscent of Erica Kirk, that was like a really really fake cry. And then ultimately, what we see is this whole thing of wokeness. And initially it was real. Like it actually kind of came from the black community. Like stay woke. You should be awake. You should know what the government's up to and things like that. And then it got usurped. And then the CIA's putting out these woke things, and it became race or gender or LGBTQ.
Deve's got goaded. And 74. Deva straddled.
I don't even know if I should have been in there. I came pretty suited.
It's not a bad hand.
I was on the dealer button.
People like three betting that hand instead of calling.
Okay.
And he said, speaking of calling.
But obviously for you, it's sort of like it's hard to do that as well.
Yeah. I don't have a big.
Yeah, like you don't have like in straddle pods and stuff.
Yeah.
Deva's raised. And he calls. Sure, why not? The flop is 8-8-7. And his deuces still good. Sean is not going to be afraid of this flop. And his limp call is going to be a lot of pairs just like this one. Well, Deva's continued for $1,000. And he calls. The turn card is a queen. And he's now a 3-1 favorite.
But any card's a scare card for deuces.
Action goes check, check. Oh, surprised not to see a second barrel. An 8 on the river, meaning deuces are still good. In fact, Andy's riveted both. He checks, D checks. And he's going to win the pot.
Sean let him off pretty easy there.
And he picks up a small pot. He's up $17,700 right now.
Keep on trucking, Andy.
I wish we could have like 8 days of the big game.
I'm having a hell of a time.
Yeah, it's so good.
And I'm losing. Imagine if I was winning, how much fun I'd be.
I just don't think you know how lucky you are to be this early in poker and get an experience like this.
That's my whole plan. Get in the UFC, win the belt,
Yeah,
so I can play poker.
Oh, yeah.
And,
it's the best retirement job there is.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm excited for.
The first one for you guys. Here we go. Straddle.
Ooh. Wait. You don't have to straddle that much.
400.
Oh,
This
sorry.
is USD, not Canadian dollars.
No limited tuning though.
There it is. First straddle.
All right. Once you straddle, you never go back, man. You gotta be careful.
I did hear that before. Once you straddle, go back. I think that's what it was.
So Deep first to act.
Raise.
Oh, you re-raised the straddle first time?
Just a regular raise, no re-raise. This is a re-raise. Oh, what's the call?
Trappy.
Back around to Andy. He's got 10s.
Here comes the re-raise.
Pot.
How do they straddle and just wake up? That's so stupid.
A little pottage for the cottage.
Good trap.
Nice.
Berkey's calling.
Here we go.
5-figure pot.
Heads up to the flop. 4-4 deuce. That's pretty good for Andy's 10s.
Keep the pressure on, Andrew.
It's been checked to him.
28.
It's $2,800.
He is perfectly happy to win this here.
Berkey folds.
Isn't poker easy? Straddle, pick up tens, say the word pot, win $6 grand.
Yeah, just to be clear, you can't expect that to happen every single time. But yes, it worked out for Andy in that hand. He's back to 22k in profit as Berkey's winnings drop below the 100k mark. And Sugar Sean, still the biggest loser at the table.
When you win a big pop tonight, you gotta like get up and do like a dance. Gotta bring the bob bag out here and let you start smacking that thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Ike's right over there if you want to punch him.
Is he? I do know.
Yeah.
I do know.
What did Ike do?
Funny you should ask.
Yesterday I had the grossest bad beat put in the Quattro tournament, the 12,000 buy-in. Alright, get this. So, pocket eights. I was texting yesterday telling my bad beat stories, and he's, oh, it's like everyone has a poker story, and so I feel like annoying. I'm like, oh, did you hear what happened to me? But I played a crazy hand against Ike Paxton. Full flop a set, king 7-8 on the flop. I flop middle set, he flops, set of sevens. Turn comes like a two of diamonds. I bet out 50,000. He shoves all in. I call. He says I have a set, flips over sevens, and I go, ha. Flip over eights. And the dealer dealt it so fast, and it was the last seven in the deck, and the table was like, my heart, that made me almost feel sick to my stomach. I was like, did that really just happen? It did. It did.
Protect Ike Haxton at all costs. He was an OG big game regular.
We're torturing Sugar Sean by giving him sevens.
Did you see that hand? The reason they're saying that?
The 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Figure one out or with one to come.
Even a grandma from China knows that hand over there.
They might end up hearing about this one too.
Yeah, and he's woken up with Ace King.
People in like Shandong.
Deep, huh?
Yeah, people know it.
Antarctica, they've seen it.
Be better if Andy had eights.
He's just called. And Poseidon's in with Ace 5. Three-way to the flop.
Not sure I love the limp from Andy.
The flop. 10-7-6. A set for Sugar Sean.
I think I love the limp from Andy.
Everyone checks. The turn card is a jack. That's a gut shot for Andy. Meanwhile, Poseidon's drawing dead.
Ooh.
Here comes the delayed c-bet from Sugar Sean, $2,000.
Ace King could also just be the best hand.
Andy is in. Poseidon is out. Heads up to the river.
If the queen hits, Sean's gonna have another story.
Ha! What is the four of clubs? Sean has a lock on it. $5,000 is the value bet.
Unlikely Ace King is the best hand.
Looks like Andy's folding.
That's him. All right. Big pot. 7.
A set of sevens. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I
The
did.
inner Sean gave it
Oh,
away.
yeah. Pretty obvious. What else do I have there?
Nice pickup of around $4 grand for Sean O'Malley, but still showing the biggest losses.
Better than running into quad 8s.
I know 7 and 11.
That's my favorite, man.
7?
Pocket 7.
Ikes too.
You're doing it.
It only takes one pot to get even.
I wait for it.
You don't wait for it. Do it now. You'll feel better about yourself.
I'm forcing it.
Throw the straddle out. It worked for him.
Alright.
The straddle works.
400? Yep. And guaranteed to win?
Guaranteed, not guaranteed.
I like your chance to be dealt that best hand briefly.
Alright.
If you don't play it well, re-raise Berkey.
Berkey's raised with King Queen. Action. Folded to Poseidon. He's got Ace Queen suited.
Nice.
Yes. Alright, that's worth re-raising.
He's
I will go.
yeah. Okay.
I will do that much.
Best coach in the world.
Maybe.
You're welcome.
Maybe.
Wait.
We'll see.
Sugar Sean.
Here we go.
Alright, here we go.
Berkey and Poseidon have called Sugar Sean's re-raise.
Definitely getting punched if he gets stacked his hand.
Yeah.
I'd be
It might.
scared. I'd be so scared.
It might.
Ooh, something for everyone here. Poseidon with the best hand right now. A pair of queens with the ace kicker.
Potentially very costly for any of these players.
Check, check, check. Turn card. 3 of clubs. Flush draws for Berkey and Sugar Sean. Poseidon still with the best hand. Leads for $4,000.
It's now Sugar Sean with the potential to lose the most.
He calls. And Berkey calls.
23K pot.
River card. 6 of clubs. Berkey with a king high flush.
O'Malley, oh dear.
Yeah, it's been checked for Sugar Sean, who does have an inferior flush. And is going to bet it. $5,000.
It's actually pretty good sizing here. It's hard to get raised unless someone has the ace.
Berkey just calls. And Poseidon folds.
Oh no.
It's gonna be a tough
Talk me
one
into
for you.
bluffing. Slow roll, slow roll.
Dude, you played that hand really good, honestly. You played that hand good, man. The block's a good value bet on the river, too. Like, the block was really
Your Berkey would have called with a lot worse than
hand's worth 5K for sure. And squeezing is good. Man.
And you put the fear of God in me, so I didn't bet any of the other streets.
Good, those, I feel you, bro.
No, if I had that,
It's 100% my fault. And
that's close out.
listen, Sean, do you know I'm more pissed than you are because it went to Berkey? The guy just winning every
Most things are Sean Teep's fault.
So yeah, Berkey has bounced back up to 116K in profit. Things getting worse for Sugar Sean. Down on the scorecard, but learning from every knockdown.
Right now, fighting's my main focus, but I'm going to continue to build my skill set to where when I'm done with fighting, that I can really take poker more serious. Traveling the world playing poker sounds like a beautiful post-fighting career.
So how would you like to join us at one of our live events? Start your poker journey today at PokerStars. The PokerStars Big Game on Tour is turning into a 5-round slugfest for Sugar Sean. And right now, he's on the receiving end of every blow.
Whoa, okay. That was part of me like, man, maybe I just don't got it. But then I hear Jason and Sean, hey, you played really good. It does mean a lot.
Dude, you played that hand really good, honestly.
I think he thought we were just like goading him, saying you're playing so well. I would have lost so much more money in his seat. And when you make second best hand constantly, it's pretty brutal. But he's gonna lose some fights. He's gonna lose some situations, and you just get up and do the next one.
Get up, Brock, because Mickey loves you.
Well, not quite the 10 count yet. But O'Malley is the biggest loser. He's down $65,600.
Did you like my impression of the penguin?
I did. It's very good. Straddle is on.
Oh, you're gonna straddle him out?
yeah, I guess I'll get it.
You're gonna free bet it too, like everyone else?
That hand would have been minimum 5 bet free if it was against you.
That's Jason Kuhn first to act. Jack 6 of hearts, he folds. And he's out.
There's
D makes it $1,000 with Jack 8.
Gotta love Sean Teep.
Ace 6 suited for Poseidon Ho. He calls.
And the truth of it is every pro will tell you, and that's called people bluff way too much. So you're going to get called by worse hands, too. Like, it was a good play.
Sugar Sean calls. Berkey calls. 4-way to the flop.
2 other guys getting in the way of this blood feud.
Well, that is top pair for Sugar Sean. It's been checked to him. He checks. As does Berkey. As does D with bottom pair.
Nope, they let Ho in the dough.
Yeah, Poseidon takes the lead with a pair of aces. Just gonna get checked around of second straight.
Hard to bet into three opponents.
It does. River for free, which is another ace. Trips for Poseidon.
He's not taking any chances of a check around.
Goes for a bit of value, $2,000. Sugar Sean calls. And loses another hand.
Poor fella.
Meanwhile, Poseidon stays in profit. He's up just shy of $10,000. I won't be rude and reference Mr. O'Malley's losses right now. Next hand, deep straddling.
Has anyone had aces yet? Did anyone?
I haven't.
No?
I haven't had aces, kings, queens. I had jacks. It's
Jacks?
I had ace, king
I had
suited.
queens twice. I haven't had any pocket pairs except sevens.
Three
I had
points.
ace king 3 times though.
You did well with them.
Once I start folding.
What? No one had aces? That's crazy.
It's a little weird.
Poseidon is raised with Jack 8.
I feel like somebody has to have aces as hand. Like, that's how this happens.
Sugar Sean calls with King Queen of clubs.
Rep the aces.
King Queen of hearts for Andy.
Two queens suited. Or is it queens suited?
He calls and deep calls. Not quite. And that flop gives Andy a flush draw.
He has got the most equity.
Checks to Deeb, who has Jack high. But that's not going to stop him betting. $1,200. Poseidon folds.
Huh.
Sean calls, Andy calls. Three-way to the turn. Which is the King of Spades. Top pair for Andy and Sugar Sean.
I hope Andy's never folding at this point.
He's checked the second time.
I don't think Deep can bet this again. Oh, but he does.
$4,500 into the abyss.
Another zero equity bluff. Hell yeah, torch it.
That's a call.
And for Andy, this is an easy call. Happy call. Fist pump and call your mama call.
Yeah, he's free rolling with the heart draw. Here we go. $21,400 in the middle. Let's see a river card. Queen of Spades. So Andy and Sugar with the same hand. They're going to chop this pot and carve up Sean Deeb's money.
Would have liked to see Andy go for some value.
Probably bet here.
Yes.
I'm gonna check with the best hand, I believe, but I might not have the best hand. I think I might have a 3.
Oh, I got the best hand. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's going to be hard to have the best hand. Hot diggity dog.
I put my, you could have a 3 over there, the big line.
I get it, man. I get it.
Checking in with deceptive.
I was a little nervous here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have told me, and then we could have cheated.
Big pot.
Chop.
So happy. I put a few thousand in, doesn't it?
Thanks, son.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
Thanks, son.
Smiles all around because you know what they say. Everyone loves a chop pot.
For the kids, 3 coins gone. We're still sad.
For the kids.
What were you guys talking about? Why are you saying that? What are you doing?
Because it's a non-for-profit I have. So it's,
Okay.
we partner with schools, local sporting booths, teams, so forth, and we build facilities.
That's awesome.
Nice. Very cool. That is really cool. So don't bluff them.
Action here. Folded to Sugar Sean. 10-6. He's not going to play that. Berkey's out. Jason on the button. Also passes.
9.
It's excellent team.
Oh, link team. Sorry. Okay.
And he calls in the small blind with 10-9. Sure.
Okay, Deeps. I notice a pattern here. I notice a pattern. I call you, you pop it. Okay. We'll give you this one here. We'll have some fun.
I hope I
Sorry,
no discount for you.
not Canadian dollars.
I don't hate to play, but beware the odds of being out of position.
Whoa, Deep flops a flush. Andy with the 10 of clubs has a draw to a better flush.
Oh boy.
He checks. Deep bets 1,000.
I don't know, Sean. You may want to slow down with the books. 1,000. Okay.
Going to the turn. Oh boy. Andy makes a flush, but it's no good. Deeb just turned a straight flush.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be sick. Why does Sean Deeb hate the kids?
Andy checks a second time. Deeb bets again. $4,000.
Oh, this is so awful.
Andy calls, and there is $11,800 in the middle as we go to the river.
Please, for the love of God, pair the board.
The 7 of spades does pair the board.
I don't know if this is going to be enough to save Andy. He already thinks Sean is targeting him.
He's checked a third time. How big will Deep go? That's $15,000.
I'm gonna puke.
I have a hand. 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 Come on.
Remember what Jason just said about overbluff spots? This is an overbluff spot from an overbluffer.
I feel like I'm getting bluffed out of this.
You're not being bluffed, Andy. We all want you to fold.
Are you always this comfortable?
I would hope so.
You've been playing for 480 years. Not that you're old, just experience. Another experience.
Andy's experience? Less.
Loose cannon. This is a huge part of my profit.
Oh, this is what the big game's all about right here. It's these moments. Cannons under pressure.
Here, I like my hand so much I'll let Sean sweat it if you want. And you can try to get a read on him.
That's a great idea. Let me get my face better.
Keep it tight.
I will. I'm gonna keep it tight. I'm gonna give me a second to smile
Don't
off real
don't
quick.
laugh.
I'm gonna laugh, smile up. Come on. Okay.
There you go. All right. Send it back.
These mind games are fun, but a little cruel.
Such a tough spot for Andy. He's called.
Good call. Good call.
Wrong.
God, good.
Straight.
Oh.
Flush.
I would have bought half of that hand. I was so sure you were full of it.
Yeah, it's a tough one to fold, man.
Andy is devastated.
You feel good about yourself, Sean Deeb?
Straight floosh, baby.
The old 6-9 suited.
Big lick.
Nice hand.
Thank you, Andy.
Time to rebuild. Back to who's candles back.
Crushed Andy's stack and his soul.
Yeah, it's back to the beginning. It's back to starting stack for our loose cannon. Look, we're taking a break. Hopefully he can regroup and get...
Alright, today we're picking up a man who is so old, he uploads his YouTube videos in sepia. That's right, long-time friend of the channel, the Big Papa, notorious B.O.B. Bob Shout. Yay. Here he is. drove to the wrong hotel.
How about how embarrassing it is to walk down the street in front of 1,000 people, everybody guessing what BOB stands for? Make it purposely hard for you to get in so you. That's the prank of this video.
It's a Jeep, man. They don't have a bigger than this. What are we doing today? In fact, don't tell me because I know it's gonna be big. Looks a little jank. Bob, the best barbecues always are.
True.
They're gonna make it even bigger because Bob always dresses in his Bob gear. So everyone asks him about what that is, and then he explains that he's a professional competitive eater. Then we're done for. Oh, you got banana pudding. That's one of my favorite puddings. I mean, it smells like smoke, but not cigarette smoke.
No, I'm very happy.
When you sent me all the information, I should have it, shouldn't I? That's actual size. 3 pounds of pulled pork, 3 pounds of hot links, 3 pounds of burnt ends, waffle fries, chipotle coleslaw, barbecue sauce on a 24-inch roll. So that's gonna be what? At least 12 pounds.
It's $175.
You've bid in advance, so if we lose, I'm not feel too bad. I have to ask, whose idea was this?
It's your idea.
Yeah. Maybe it's the Englishman in me, but I'm sort of the opinion that it stops being a sandwich when you can't fit the top layer of bread on there. Is that just me? This is the last time I trust you when you say, do you want to go out and get lunch? The last time, man. Alright, Rolling Smoke Barbecue in Las Vegas doing what has to be probably the biggest barbecue sandwich ever assembled in the history of humanity. And if you can do it in 30 minutes, you get it for free. I could think of no one better to do this with than my old buddy, Notorious Bob. Should we get underway? 3, 2... Hey, hang on. That doesn't look central to me. Was it 30 minutes? Yeah, you got it. A mere half an hour to dispatch this behemoth. Fortunately, you are allowed a partner with this one. They didn't think about the practicality of the sandwich. Oh, that brisket is good though. Sorry, quiet time? Quiet time. Yeah, nobody delivers the shut up and eat look quite like Bob. And to be fair, he's probably onto something because there's a reason that only one team has ever beaten this thing. Oh. You know what I'm looking forward to the least? The sausage. Do you like sausages?
No.
You want a sausage? You don't want a sausage.
Never down for the hardest part of this challenge.
We're gonna lose, man. I'm not really hearing much support from the Avengers that assembled.
Let's go!
I like it.
You got this! You want the more? You got this!
Are you gonna eat any of this or is it all me?
I was about to say that.
All we did was pick the bread off. I'm here, a couple hours off.
Yeah, I think maybe he's got me there. But I will leave the critical analysis on who ate what to you folks down in the comments, I think. Still plenty left to eat here. You massaging your nipples?
Yes. We'll get serious now. Well,
I was just notified that you have 21 minutes left. Oh, that's only because he's on his break right now, so he didn't want to come. that was the real answer I just got.
How do we get it all the way over here? You're breathing pretty heavy there, old man.
Don't give me the scraps. Then you would not approve.
I know you're good enough. I know you.
thank you.
Yeah, the older man's starting to wheeze a bit at this point. So, in the interest of aiding the already stretched Emergency medical services of the District of Las Vegas. I didn't want him to have to work too hard.
We got 9 minutes left.
9?
9 minutes left.
What? Just get it. Get it.
Thank God. It's gonna take us 5 minutes to get all the scraps.
Come on, baby. You got this. Wow.
Oh, cheeky. In case you missed that there, Wayne had the restaurant worker play a bit of a prank on us and tell us we had substantially less time remaining than we actually had. The scumbag. What the heck are these things? They're not spicy, right? Oh, it's sweet. 12 minutes, 26 seconds left.
You got this, guys.
I traded 2 sausages for the rest of the sandwich. Deal, deal.
That is not good food.
Come on, man, we got to hurry up. Yeah, the cleanup operation is gonna take a while. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this installment. And as always, I shall catch you on the next one. Ken.
Man, boy, I'm so tired of junk. I'm drawing it out so he has to eat one.
I know. It's gonna take us 5 minutes to get all the stuff off the block. I thought I was a messy eater. This is... I know this is disgusting, I'm sorry. Alright, this is Beer Bing's food and Notorious Bob Shout, and that was Rolling Smoke Barbecue's ginormous barbecue sandwich challenge. Just about that.
Yeah, you're doing that.
I legitimately thought we were gonna lose. Can I get some of your banana pudding? Thank you. That's the only thing kept me going. Banana pudding.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I was planning on leaving 80% of that to you, but I heard you breathing after like 5 minutes. I thought this guy's gonna have a heart attack. I better dig out here. That was delicious, man. The brisket especially, so good.
It was really good.
You got a small?
Yeah, I got a small shirt.
Ah, perfect. Is it a cool t-shirt?
It's pretty cool.
I think it's got all the premium pack. I feel like you just bought this from I don't know, one of those shops in like the Win or something. That's a cool one. I love it. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you. why? I'm trying to go banana pudding. You stood there with your crotch in my face. More banana pudding, me, you know.
Oh,
Oh. Well, that one was hard work. Hey, all in a day's work, big dog. Doing alright?
am I doing okay?
Yeah.
Well, it's typical. My shoulders bother me. They
Yeah.
weren't bothering me before I had to carry you in this challenge. But...
Put on the wall, all right?
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Does that look okay for you guys?
that works.
Yes,
I think it's a good one.
thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. If you want to see Bob back on the channel, get down in the comments, let us know. Obviously, go and subscribe to his channel as well. He's putting out some great stuff lately. 3 cameras today. Hollywood style production.
Hey, 2 of them are even turned on. Pull off. There's always spots up here to pull off.
Pull off?
Yeah, pull
That,
off.
that means something totally different.
Something in England?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm guessing I know what that I think I know what that means now. No, that's not what I was doing.
Okie doke. Steak is the order of business today. And not just any steak. No, sir. A rather large steak. At this place, Cowboys Bar and Grill. I love places like this, you know. Not just because of the sort of Wild West shabby chic gang.
be worried about that. And we can play more straightforward against him. Then. I mean, if we just have bad, and if we just like check fall, we check fall. He's good in folding, by the way. Yeah, he's good in folding for sure. So, but we don't bluff ace king, right? If he bluffs ace jack, he lost. Come on, bro. What is going on? He's never calling me. No, no, no. So what just happened? He raised three, I get calls, I call, he backs range, as always he do. He does. And they get calls. I have two pair plus one if I should I call. Again, late. So like, not much sense of jacking. Just gonna leave. I think like if he wants to bluff, he bluffs, but like he has so many hands which he can fold. You know, like I mean, technically he would not fold. Okay, that's a 10 problem. Yeah. Good luck today, bro. Flowers. Thank you. And just won that 14%. And I said I had 10 bigs I jammed. I won. That's 1k. 1k. Centimeter.
Paprika calls against my rice. So like, in these positions, these stack sizes, I think we are checking almost all range. I would check 100%. So I would never bet any single hand. The 16 I'm gonna check. So like in general I would bet, but sometimes I will swap play that one. And 0.6 I'm gonna check. So like in general I would bet, but like I use randomizer to decide what to do. That's not me. And that's good to have some check rails in this situation. Thank you, thank you. King 10. Probably just call. Yeah, just you want to squeeze like King 9 suited, but no King 10 off. Because like they call you and you got the trouble when you play that squeeze spot. What options? We can bet small or try. Let's go bet small.
If you get a funny feeling, you should probably trust it.
You know who these people are in your life because thinking about them immediately puts you in a bad mood.
I dated a badass art for the better part of 2 years because she would self-harm if I made any attempt to distance myself from the relationship.
Daddy has to go.
3 years erased.
She had submitted a tip that I was making and selling child pornography. That's your life now.
Oh man, oh my dad.
Thank you, God, for letting me off this easy. Thank you. The idea that all people are inherently good and just suffering some sort of psychological malady or under a lot of pressure or psychological trauma, or usually they're just bad people. They're just people who are not fully realized, people who are not just not grown up. Okay, and a lot of the time it's just malicious, selfish people. The concept of thinking about life from somebody else's perspective is completely alien and not something they're at all interested in doing. This is people who are flagrantly a net negative. People who are like an energy sponge, abusive in ways that's not. There'll never be something that you can point to and go, that is abusive. You know who these people are in your life because thinking about them immediately puts you in a bad mood, stresses you out, whatever. Chances are a lot of these people, their families are totally fried, dysfunctional, drug addict. Parents who smoke weed is the most insane thing. It's the most insane thing. There's so many people who are just completely just sludge people who've been molested. Even on the not the crazy end, but on like the regular end of what happens in dysfunctional families. Like you live in a small house and you have people yelling all the time. Like that does more damage. That does so much damage. This kid was like one of the darkest people in the planet, and I would always wonder like how do people get that? How do people get that toasted? How do they get so crispy toasted? One day he told me about his like screwed up home life. How he lived in a not like a log cabin, but like a like wood building, like one step above a trailer park. He like lived above the stairs directly from his parents, and they didn't have a banister, so it was a stairwell that you could just like fucking dip off the side. The one like revealing vulnerable moment of any sort of humanity that I sensed from this guy was he was talking about how every night when he was trying to sleep, he would hear the sound of his parents, their weed bubbler. A lot of the time, when you are trying to figure out what's going on with
This man claims that he can crush low-stakes poker. Many of you have asked to see what is behind the curtain of NorCal Poker, and today we are going to find out the truth of how good is it. I have literally 0 hours, 0 seconds watching this. He is one of the most recommended in my comments. I'm in a hotel room. My professional background is no longer with us. Rest in peace. I will be back in England in a couple of weeks. But for now, I managed to somehow bring my entire setup, my professional background not included, to join me in this unknown country. All right, let's see how good he is. He says that he can crush. He's apparently coy. Seems like a really good guy from what I can tell from the very short thing I've seen. Let's see what it says.
Last year, I profited $7,796 over exactly 200 hours of play.
Well, he's got a mesmerizing voice. Anyone else feel like they're hypnotized by that? Like, I already believe he can crush low stakes just from hearing those few seconds. I believe it. 200 hours, $40 an hour, playing 1-2? That's pretty good if it's playing 1-2. If it's playing 2-5, it's not particularly good. Alright.
I will admit, I've definitely pushed the high variance route a bit to try and complete this challenge, and if needed, will continue to do so. Going forward, I'll try to pick my spots better and find the big folds.
I like it. Doing a backdoor challenge and just playing the martingale system. Google it if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Let's try to get this year back on track and work our way into the positive by heading out to the nicest card room in Northern California, which is none other than Stone's Gambling Hall.
I've never played at Stone's.
Oh, really? This,
For day one, we bought into the 1-2 game for the max of $300. far the worst lineup I've seen all year. So as much as I didn't want to do it, decided to put my name on the 1-2-3 list despite not wanting to ever play.
Whoa, screw it. I'm raising stakes.
Despite the bad lineup, I was somehow able to profit some change and walked away up $75 in just 15 minutes of play before my name got called for the big game. The famous $15 bomb pot, which I will admit was the main thing I missed about this game. 6 people decided to join the party. I get dealt Queen 3 offsuit in the cutoff. Not the best starting hand, but it's somewhat irrelevant in bomb pots because anything can happen. With $90 in the pot, we're off to a flop 6 ways of Queen 7 deuce with 2 diamonds, giving us the worst top pair possible. Action gets checked to me. I start off with a bet of $35, looking to get value from smaller pairs and charge all the flush draws.
So far, so good. He did exactly what he had to do. He bet a reasonable amount and said what he's trying to get value from. It sounds so simple and so easy. And after seeing so many content creators and other poker players, you have no idea how much I appreciate. And here's the thing. Here's the frustrating thing about poker. It's so simple, but you just have to make a differentiation in your mind. And to put some easy graphics so people out there can actually understand this. High quality thought versus a low quality thought. And you have to disaggregate them in your mind and then siphon out the low quality thoughts and only keep the high quality thoughts so your thought processing power, that little computer inside of you we call a brain, can actually focus on what's important. And so far, so good. I'll give you a pat on the back for that one.
One by one, they all fold and we take this one down.
Alright, fantastic vlog so far.
And this is a sign for what's to come. Looking to keep the momentum going when we're under the gun and look down at 40% of a royal flush and king queen of spades. Raise it up to $20 and just get called by the player to my left. Swing heads up out of position to a flop of ace-7-5 with 2 spades, giving us the nut flush draw. On the board where my range consists of all the strong aces, decide to rep them by starting off with a half pot bet of $20. Our opponent quickly calls, doubling this.
Something I do appreciate if you guys are thinking about doing vlogs out there. I wasn't listening to the pre-flop thing, so I was trying to drink this very viscous apple juice, nectar bar, and I looked down, and suddenly I just know what the pre-flop action was. All he did was under the gun one. That was it. Other people, I think Rampage included, I have to keep rewinding because I drink too much apple juice whilst I'm watching this. I believe it.
Hard to range them just yet. We're off to an action-packed turn in the 3 of clubs. Now putting.
I actually didn't. I didn't listen. No, listen to how much you bet. 20, yeah.
Off with a half pot bet of $20.
Would I bet 20 here? I'd probably go a little bit smaller. And the reason for that is I really, no, maybe 20 is good. The thing, you just definitely wanted to call, say, pocket 6s, pocket 8s, even pocket 4s. I think actually all of those hands probably do call 1. Because you're going to be double barreling this hand pretty much always anyway. And you want to get value from those on the flop so you can make them fold on the turn. It's kind of like a value bluff situation because your hand is just such a good double barrel on basically every turn.
Quickly calls, doubling this pot to 80. Hard to range them just yet. So we're off to an action-packed turn in the 3 of clubs, now putting 2 flush draws out there. I didn't want to slow down because I could put a ton of pressure on all his one-pair holdings and even get value from his smaller flush draws. I overbet the pot with a bet of $110. Surprisingly, he once again puts in the call.
Okay, value from the smaller flush draws is a tough one because you're not definitely going to win against, say, 8-9 of spades. You know, you might check fold river. Also, what pair hands are you going to be putting pressure on with this side? All of his ace-X probably just going to be calling anyway. And then he's got all of his parent flush draws. Other than that, what are you trying to get folded? Pocket 8s? You know, pocket 4s probably just going to fold double gutter. You know, even deuces and 6s might get sticky. And pocket 8s, pocket 9s, and pocket 10s, they'll fold to a lot less. So I think it's actually a very, very bad sizing to use. I think he's saying the right things for range analysis, but then completely misapplying the concepts.
Surprisingly, he once again puts in the call. If he would have gone all in with his sets and 2 pairs by now, since there's so many draws available, doubt he's calling the overbet with a hand like ace-8 of hearts. So I feel like our opponent's
okay, so Nokal thinks that he was making his opponent fold an ace on the turn, which maybe in these games you might be able to get. In pretty much every game I played, people ain't fold an ace-8 on the turn on double flush draw board when you overbet 1 point, whatever the heck that was pot.
He has ace-X of clubs, ace-4, and ace-2 suited, and nothing else. Keeping those hands in mind, we're off to a river, obviously hoping for a spade.
There's some wild range analysis going on here, Nokal.
Also be fine with the big Broadway card.
By the way, I'm hosting loads of high-stakes private games, and I'm giving 50k opportunity for you guys to play for free in these private games. Yeah, the smaller flush draws ain't so hot.
Let's go all in for 260 remaining, which obviously forces us to fold. Sucks we couldn't hit the nut flush draw. I'm pretty confident if we blasted off on the river, we would have gotten snapped.
Yeah, pretty likely. I mean, I'd definitely consider calling the river. It's almost definitely going to be a fold, but maybe get a lifestyle. Like, I'd take at least like 10, 20 seconds to just look at the guy. Overall, I'm going to rate his hand probably like a 7 out of 6.5 out of 10. He had a good thought process, but I feel like he misapplied a bunch of the concepts. Feeling like you can make ace-8 fold on the turn. I mean, it's a player-specific read. It's a pool-specific read. Like, some player pools are a lot tighter than others, but I personally wouldn't bet on that. Like, that's the size I would go to get a call from ace-8 of hearts.
This next hand, the 6 shadow is on, and there's a couple limps before action's on me in the small blind, and I look down at ace-9 of clubs. Could just overlimp, but I find that pretty boring and like playing in big pots with solid hands. I make it $25 to go and get called by the middle blind and cut off.
Yeah, this is good.
3 ways to a flop of ace-7-5 rainbow with 1 club, giving us top pair decent kicker and a backdoor nut flush draw. On first act, I think I have the single best ace possible since I assume my opponents would raise ace-10 or better pre-flop.
Then you get called by one of the blinds, like the straddle or whatever the blinds. He could still have ace-10, ace-jack, maybe even ace-queen, probably not, but sometimes even ace-queen. I would definitely call ace-9 the best nine possible, the best ace possible.
In order to keep all the weak aces and smaller pairs in there on a board where there aren't many draws, start off with a bet of $20.
Yeah, again, this is kind of weird. Like he's pointing out true things that are in their range, and then I feel like his conclusions of how they play against those sizes is way off. It's like I want to make the smaller aces call, so I bet 20. You can let ace deuce call by betting like 100. It will still probably call. I mean, definitely like 60. If you're gonna go for big value against those types of hands, you go for it. I mean, what I would do here is I'd just be like, okay, I want to get a call from a 7, a 5, or an ace, maybe like pocket 8s, pocket 6s, so they get sticky. I'd probably just go like 50, something along those lines, and then reevaluate on a bunch of different turns. But I feel like you go way too small yourself.
Smaller pairs in there on a board where there aren't many draws. Start off with a bet of $20. Both players call, increasing this pot to 135. Still going 3 ways to a turn. It's a good one in the 9 of hearts, now giving us top 2 pair. 6-8 gets there for the straight.
First thing you need to be thinking about here is the pair and straight draws. When you see boards like this, and it's relatively possible, somebody could have 6-5, 7-8, 9-8, 9-6, 6-9, then you need to be thinking about how much will they call, because it's actually going to be a decent proportion of people's range. Then you have the pair of flush draws, then you obviously have the ace-x. You really need to be thinking about all of that, and then just come to some kind of general conclusion, take all of that data, go in your head and be like, I want to bet this much. And the more and more you practice this on and off the felt, the better you'll get at that part of taking all of this kind of like multivariate analysis and into a discrete, concrete answer. I think in this circumstance, I'd probably go about 100. I feel like most people are still going to get sticky with the pair and straight draws at that size, and the ace-x is why I feel like they're probably still going to get sticky. Exactly 100 probably gets like fewer folds than if you go like 75, because people love those just like one chips. Just go 100 chip. You get fewer. Like more people will call because it's so easy to call. Looks smaller.
I don't like giving up the betting lead when 2 players show interest in the pot. Now the only question is how much to value bet for. If I wanted to bet an amount, I will keep a hand like ace-3 or 7-8 in the mix, which is why I settled on a bet of $65.
Again, he's like really going for these like good ideas of ranging the other people, and then unless these pools are just like people I've never seen in, and I've played in America a bunch, I feel like he's just going way too small for value here.
Player must have had those hands because they both end up folding. Would have been nice to get more action on that amazing.
Yeah, I feel like so far the sizes are too small. So much of low stakes poker is just going big with your big hands, small with your bluffs, or big with your big hands, small with your small hands. That's just like 80% of it. It's an exaggeration, but so much of low stakes poker is that.
Looking down at a premium and pocket 10s. Start off with a raise to $15 and get called by both the button and small blind. Going 3 ways to a flop of ace-10-8 with 2 spades, giving us middle set on a.
See, this is an interesting one where you definitely can start sizing up, but actually it's not so hard to get all in by the river. It's 3-way as well, so you have to be thinking really, really carefully what exactly you want to get value from. Obviously, having pocket 10s here is way better than having pocket aces because there's way more ace-x out there. So you just have to be looking at your opponent to be like, are these the kind of people that if I bet, say, like 50, they're going to be like, whoa, and start just folding ace-7. Or folding up the turn or something like that because they get scared by the bet. If you're playing against some mouth breathers with a few too many chromosomes, then okay, you probably would just want to use the big number and just get max value because they're going to see, top pair, haven't hit top pair in 2 hours, go, go, go. But if you're playing against some cognizant people, you need to be pretty situationally aware. You've opened, I think, under the gun. You've c-bet into two people. It's going to look relatively strong. So generally, you probably would just want to lean towards like a big size here, something like 40, 35, something along those lines. But it really does depend on the lineup. I believe.
So my line starts off with a check. On these dynamic flops, I like sizing up a bit since there's both straight and flat.
This should have been a routine stop, and I guess it wasn't.
Oh, man. Straight tags for your car.
Yeah, I mean, I think just arrest him. I mean, we don't. What is this here?
Probably. Is this your car? Yeah. And here's your driver's license and the registration.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry?
My license is in my bag.
Okay.
Can I grab it?
Yeah.
You gonna pull out a gun? Damn. Oh my god. Holy shit. God damn. Okay, it's blocked out. Holy shit.
Isaiah, can you hear us, man? Can you hear me? Isaiah, can you hear us? Hey, listen to me. Can you hear me? No.
Oh my god. This has been a random neighborhood too. Shot him dead.
Can we get this off? I got nowhere. I don't have anything. No idea what happened. I don't know if I can't tell if he's breathing or not. Get them back. I can't tell if he's breathing. I got a lot in the house.
Oh my god.
AED now.
Automated external defibrillator?
Got it.
Holy shit.
Can you get somebody to hold his head? Yes. Looks to the face.
Officer's body cams abruptly cut as 32-year-old Deputy Isaiah Cordero would
Oh my god. That is so fucking. Jesus Christ.
later be pronounced dead, sparking a massive manhunt for his killer. Investigators cross-referenced Officer Cordero's body cam footage with flock cameras in the area and positively identified the
I
murder.
feel like really, like, the guy that shot him is just stupid too. Because, like, if you kill a cop, that's like an instant 5 stars. Like, everybody knows this. So, like, if he had just driven off and only had one cop chasing him, he probably would have had a higher chance of getting away. It's just insane to do that. Like, what a fucking idiot.
As 44-year-old William McKay, who had ties to an outlaw biker gang based out of Southern California, as well as a violent criminal history.
Why was he out?
Officers circulated a description of McKay and his vehicle, and less than 2 hours later, an off-duty officer spotted him traveling south on the 15.
Now's the time.
No.
Chris, some spikes coming from the shoulder or center divider.
You'll see why.
Let me move up and check this.
You are the 55, no traffic on the number 1 and 2 lane. Fairfax, coming up behind you guys.
Holy shit.
Number 3 lane, please
Keep an eye out for spikes. Don't see anybody. I don't see any. I think he said Golden West. We're up. West Coast.
You're approaching heavy traffic. Please don't have 15, number 3 lane.
I feel like, I mean, you just, like, But there's like no way you're gonna get away. Like look at this guy. Like what do you think's gonna happen?
He's got 6 points.
Like your byway happens on the weekend. No.
What did he say? He's coming up to the spikes.
Is that the spot right there?
Okay, the vehicle you put over the spike. Spikes are clear, vehicle still. Number one lane is about to be 25.
McGuire, get behind Shane. Guys behind us, make room for the Bearcat.
The Bearcat?
The vehicle has some tires in the rear. Vehicle is approximately on 20 miles an hour, number one.
You know, get Oscar with 5 stars, Grand Theft Auto? Yeah.
44, the front two are deflated.
Is that an armed robbery? Gets same response when the officer gets shot. Oh, pro! Oh, shit! Really satisfying, yeah.
Do you see a Bearcat?
I'm assuming that's like some sort of like tech.
He's gonna come up on the right.
It's like an interceptor. It's a Bearcat. Yeah, yeah. It's like an interceptor type armored truck. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh shit. The tank? Yeah, they're putting in the tank on him, bro.
That's it.
Shane, let that Bearcat in front of you.
Watch his FedEx truck. Got it. I'll stop on the left-hand side. Got it.
Oh shit. Oh shit. And now he's in traffic too. He's fucked. Oh, that's smart. He got away that way. Didn't expect that.
Here, fellas, but when it's safe to do so, we're gonna pit him with the Bearcat.
Surely he's gonna get away. Surely he can get away. What an idiot.
Okay. They're stopping him. They're gonna be holding him up here.
Why is it so slow? They're probably not doing things that are like more aggressive in order to maintain the safety of everybody else, so they don't cause a wreck or something like that. That's why they're probably not shooting at him or trying to ram him off the road. Yeah, I mean, like realistically, that's why.
Circling this area. This is where it happened.
What an idiot.
Or if he's got friendlies here, or...
And still right shoulder of the freeway, 30 miles per hour, heavy traffic. It's going to be going over Pacific here. Next exit is going to be Valley Way at about half mile.
That's brutal. Is he riding on rims? Yeah. Just TOS?
Based on the totality.
They cleared out a lot of it.
We gotta stop him from jumping.
Right now, in between a couple lanes, about 40 miles per hour, and traffic's opened up a little bit. And the trailing units start braking traffic in anticipation of a pit coming soon.
Step by for a pit.
I don't know what they're waiting on doing.
The pyrite exit here.
Yeah, I have no idea how they get these guys.
Coming out of the rear tire, just lost
Oh!
the driver's side rear tire.
That's one gone. Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Try that pit. We may be going too fast now.
And there it is. Holy shit. God damn. Bro, you saw that one, that cop. Look at that. Watch this guy. Immediately dodges that shit. That was impressive.
So remember, this turned into a
quarter-second response.
Watch your backdrop with the freeway on the left. We've got this concrete barrier, so it's a good backdrop, but keep the shot
Dude was locked in.
low if needed.
Okay, it was in the window. Y'all saw it. Listen. I checked.
50 miles per hour and light traffic.
So he's got rear left, rear passenger tires good, and it looks like the front driver's side tires about to go.
Yeah, it's off. I'm surprised he's still even going that fast with the car.
This dude is a dangerous one. Poor people up your head.
Yeah, he's a psycho.
You should get light traffic all the way up to the 60. No, you need to take the car for number 1 lane light traffic.
Slow down a little bit.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It looks like number 2 lane.
But Steve, you said this saying is justified? Well, let me see. I don't know what justified. I don't even know what happened. To shoot a missile at it? They don't want to hurt other people in the area. That's the reason why.
And light traffic. Yeah, they got the freeway shut down traffic.
Dude, how much longer can that truck go on? The tires.
It's impressive, honestly. Really, yeah. I mean, it's impressive that car's still going.
Consist of about 7 units plus canines and Bearcat.
A few cars they entered the freeway at this on-ramp, but other than that, no traffic.
Commercial, yeah.
Westbound, number 2 lane, about 50 miles per hour.
If he falls into the pit speed, we can fit him on this off-ramp. Awesome.
Entering the 15 off-ramp. Otherwise, north or south here in a second.
Go 15 south. All right. 15 south.
South now.
Holy shit. Send him off the edge.
Looks like his brake lights are on the off-ramp. He's on the bridge right now. Brake lights are on.
Oh, he's crashing out big time. You see, he can barely control the car.
About 10 miles per hour right now.
Oh.
Successful? No. Still going.
Carrying on to the I-15 south here. About 35 miles per hour. Got a pit. 10 pit. Looks like he's all the way down the 4 lane now.
Oh, he's going to hit him again. Yeah, he's done. Okay, holy shit. God damn. All right. This truck's amazing? Yeah. Holy shit. All right. Sorry, gentlemen. This shit is intense. Most of these are not even anywhere near this level of I mean, this is like, what the fuck?
About 30 miles per hour.
Holy shit.
Building another pit. He's going to stay over here, Bert. I got you. You can go right into us. I got you. You just watch it.
Be careful, bunch it up, fellas. Careful, bunch it up, because if he DCs, we don't want a PC.
I got you. We're going to have a little warning. I got you.
They patrol black and white, so I need you guys to fall out.
It's like 5 stars in GTA 5 where the Bearcats chase you. I've never seen something like this before. I've never watched one.
Down the red, so we can block all that traffic entering the freeway. Our 4 lane about 50 miles, 40 miles per hour now. Well, we got about 70 black and whites in this thing.
On 2 waves, I want a primary pursuit package backed up by the 2nd wave of ES units. I've got about
emergency
7
support.
and that's plenty right now. And then you guys just support us by running interference behind us.
So the rims are gone? Yeah.
In a pursuit, only ES units outside in a pursuit.
You got
Black and white drop out. Black and white drop out. We have a secondary ES pursuit package behind the initial.
I mean, they're obviously like.
Currently engaged in a pursuit 1022. All patrol units.
I don't know why I was just trying to crash them out now. Well, maybe it's still just too dangerous.
Passengers of breakdown 6 approaching 2nd.
Oh! Oh, he's smoking out. He is crashing out big time. That's it. You're done.
Where's he at?
Oh my god! Oh my god, bro! Jesus!
Moving all the way over to the right-hand side. About 15 miles per hour.
15 miles an hour. Shots fired.
Early Aries Brandon's a handgun shooting.
Oh, he knows he's getting gassed out.
Get ready, buddy. Get ready.
fucking game. Holy shit. This guy's done. Wow. Tournament of Swiss cheese. I wonder if he's dead yet. Hey guys, keep going. Oh, suspect's down? No way. No way. Jesus. Holy fuck. God damn. Overkill him? Yeah. Wanna throw a nade in there? Yeah. Alcohol, I think alcohol can be good anyway. It's just like good like for sedation or whatever. Why we use in culture back in days because of the bad quality of water. The reason why we had alcohol in our life. And then like some businessmen just promote it. And now they're selling a dream, right? That you have to when you do something when you're tired you have to drink alcohol, when you're happy you have to drink alcohol, and that's how we actually live. We see that on pictures, on movies. But just like in general, why? Okay. Last time you're happy and you're happy and you just like drink alcohol. What it gives to you? More happiness? No. Just bad feeling afterwards. So yeah, it is good for sedation, some sort of, but also better to use just like normal medicine, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, bro. I used to drink alcohol for so many years, like, and just quit a year ago. But that was second best decision. Okay, third best decision in my life. First was to start dating my future wife, so like get married. That was the best decision. The second was to quit cigarettes, and third quit alcohol. And actually, I believe that decent amount of profits I got because I quit cigarettes and alcohol. I'm just sure for 1000%. 17, we bought. '22, I overbought.
What is going on? Raise the red football. That's what is going on this table. We always do that. Трішки хвастаюсь. Вчора сьогодні зранку затишив, поділився з одним любителем флюору на 1390 учасників. Із непоганим призом на АКМ. Тепер, схоже, може повно виходити на бізник 5-1. Вас! Вітаю, друже. Всім савас. Савас, друже.
So, authoritarian regimes create conditions where, in essence, people beg for their own enslavement.
Getting back to the, your book about the decay of America, and it seems to me like in California, they've spent $45 billion in just a few years to try to tackle homelessness, and homelessness has only gotten worse. And now they've spent $80 billion on ICE prisons. And what I tell people is that those ICE prisons and ICE, they're not there for immigrants. They might look like it. There's a show. They're there for you. For when you wake up to what's actually happening and you protest the data centers, or if you do vandalism on the data centers, which is what Larry Fink is afraid that Americans are going to drone bomb the data centers. And so it's to create a surveillance state, and that's what those prisons, they're not there for immigrants. They want the immigrants here. They want them here because they want cheap labor, and they want workers fighting even poorer people in a more desperate situation than them, so we don't come together and oppose the oligarchs. It's a great, so that's the, and so, and the keeping the homelessness and the, what I say is like we become China as a surveillance state with no rights to protest, but we just have more street crime and slower trains. And so that is the game, right? That they want to keep this chaos, this homelessness. I mean, it's just unbearable here in Los Angeles. And street crime. It's to make people beg for more authoritarian solutions. So we'll accept the surveillance state, and the prisons are there for people who try to rise up against it. Is my assessment correct? What do you say?
Yeah. So authoritarian regimes create conditions where, in essence, people beg for their own enslavement. That's it. And you're very right, of course. Well, look, people don't build concentration camps and tell you honestly who they're for. And nowhere in the world in history has that ever happened. They build them for those who are, quote unquote, demonized as the enemy, quote unquote, enemy. Whether that was in fascism or communists and Jews. But never forget that those concentration camps were filled with journalists and artists and writers, people from opposing political parties and everything else. So yeah, of course, and this gets back to the book America: The Farewell Tour, which was based on the 1898 book by Emile Durkheim, Suicide, French sociologist who asked what is it that drives both societies and individuals to carry out thoughts of suicide, and that's where we get the term animal. But he says it's the rupture of social bonds. And what are those bonds? Those bonds are a place in the society, work where you're remunerated and can buy a house, live with dignity, where the common good is accepted. Well, all those bonds are broken. Then you are essentially cast out of society. And so societies that have ruptured those social bonds have to create, through coercion, ways of control. And that becomes militarized police, and it becomes a vast carceral system. We have the largest prison system in the world. 25% of the world's prisoners were less than 5% of the world's population. And that's, you're exactly right. And ICE is very a key element in that. I mean, they overplayed their hand in Minneapolis, but they're still out there. We just had here, I live in Princeton, poor van load of workers were stopped at 6 in the morning because they were going to cut rich people's lawns, and they're all gone. And their families live in terror. And ICE is, all authoritarian regimes build paramilitary rogue forces that are beyond the reach of the law. And remember, they're recruiting a lot of these right-wing militia types into ICE. There's no training virtually. And that's what you go to India. I've been in India, and you have Modi. He has his own goons for the RSS. Erdogan has his goons in Turkey. Go back, what are the brown shirts or the black shirts in Italy? That's a fundamental point of a fascist state. And I think two developments. One, the massive expense signals that, coupled with this slush fund, because that money is going to fund these very people. That money is exactly where, and that's being directed at people within these groups to empower them.
Everybody, come see me on tour. I'll be in Spokane, Tacoma, Los Angeles, special video panel show. It's
When I think of Texas, I think of big skies, beautiful sunsets, cowboys, guns, oil, Austin. Well, Austin's weird, but most importantly, big food. Today, we're at the world famous Big Texan in Amarillo, Texas, taking on their legendary 72-ounce steak challenge.
It's now 8:30 in the morning, and I'm pretty sure that no one's actually tried to take on the challenge this early in the morning. This is a really small plate for this. Yep. So I took my first bite. I'm gonna go ahead and start my timer now.
What?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
My timer has started, and this is probably the most advertised steak challenge I've ever seen. Driving here all the way from New Mexico, I mean, in the entry of New Mexico from Colorado, I saw advertisement for the steak challenge. So it is pretty popular, and I would say maybe America's most popular steak challenge. Now, it usually comes with a baked potato. They're actually going to bring that later because they didn't have any during this time. They won't have any for the next, I think, 20 minutes. And this challenge has just under 100,000 fails. That's a lot of fails for a food challenge. Prefer a little more pink than that, but just under 100,000 fails. That's a lot of fails for a food challenge. Prefer a little more pink than that, but it is what it is. Before taking on the steak challenge, you do get to try the steak, which I did. If I could go back in time, I would get the steak done a little more rare. I chose medium, so that's my fault. Lesson learned. So for the Big Texan Challenge, you get 1 hour to finish the 72-ounce steak, a salad, a bread roll, fried shrimp, and a baked potato. If you can get all the food done in under the hour, you'll get the $72 meal free, a t-shirt, a certificate of completion, and your name on their huge wall of fame, which according to their website has 10,413 champions. However, I'm pretty sure the number is a lot higher. They haven't updated their wall of fame since November of 2024. We're 9 minutes in, quarter done. My cutting skills suck, but I also do want to try one of these shrimps. I love me some fried shrimp, and these were fantastic. I can literally eat them all day and be a happy man. I also forgot to mention that when you do partake in this steak challenge, you do have to eat it on their stage. And at this early in the morning, there wasn't many people in the restaurant, which I personally prefer. Sometimes I could feel a bit introverted. Now, the day before, I took on the Burner Challenge in Longmont, Colorado. That challenge nearly killed me. And if you haven't watched it yet, the link is in the description. I had terrible sleep due to stomach cramps from those dang ghost pepper wings, and woke up this morning thinking, how the heck am I going to do this steak today? But the whole purpose of this trip was to do this steak challenge, so I wasn't going to let anything stop me from getting this done. Plus, I drove 14 hours total just to get here. I'm not sure how people can just pick up the steak and just eat it like it's a burger. Molly's actually done this challenge a few different times, and she currently has the record in like 3 minutes and some change, and is the only person to finish 3 of the steaks with all the sides in under the hour time. I can't see anyone ever beating her record in the future. Many of my friends are on the Wall of Fame here, and some of them have doubled the challenge, like recently, Scott Eats. I'll just be happy to get the win. We're down to the last third of the steak. Now, I gotta be totally honest with you guys. I thought I would have the challenge done by now, or at least onto the sides. A little note to my future self, if I have any spicy challenges lined up, they have to be at the end of my trip, so I can deal with the consequences at home. 35 minutes. It has taken me a while to do it. I'm not even close to being full. My mouth is just very dry.
And you can tell with how much dang liquids I'm drinking. These past trips, one thing I've noticed is that I get really dehydrated after the first challenge. I think I'll start bringing Pedialyte with me to see if that helps. Thank you so much. All right, we do have some steak sauce we're going to be using just to help keep the steak down, and we did get our baked potato. So there's that. Time to hurry up. This challenge has been around since 1962, and this is the story of how it all started. Soon after opening the Big Texan in 1960, the owner Bob Lee noticed many of the local cowboys would come by for their massive steaks on a Friday, and they would try to out-eat each other, so Lee decided to organize a steak-eating contest among them. It was a $5 entry to see who could eat the most steaks in an hour to win the pot. One man stood out eating 4.5 pounds of steak, equivalent to 72 ounces, plus the baked potato, the salad, cocktail shrimp, and a roll. Bob Lee was impressed and announced that anyone who could finish the full 72-ounce steak plus the sides in under the hour would eat free. And just like that, in 1962, the famous 72-ounce steak challenge was born. Last piece of steak. I wasted so much time cutting this thing. I probably should have just ate it like this. I did notice eating it with my hands was so much easier ripping the steak apart. I think Molly has it right when she smashes through steak challenges. This thing is still crazy hot. There's no way I can keep that right now. Let that cool down for a minute or so. Finish these two guys. And here's another fun fact for you. The show Man vs. Food's first episode actually took place here in Amarillo, Texas. And this was Adam Richman's first food challenge that started it all. I thought that was a really cool fact. No wonder this is America's most popular steak. All right, so I got the baked potato. That's still steaming hot, so I'm just going to eat the salad. And lastly, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to be here. The trip was tons of fun and painful. Make sure to like today's video and subscribe if you haven't already. Currently planning my next trip for the upcoming week, so stay tuned and enjoy the rest of today's episode. It's still steaming, but we got 8 minutes and 30 seconds left. Alright, we have the last piece. So just finish this. Timer stopped. You have a winner! Oh boy. I completed it in 55 minutes and 14 seconds. That's a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. Honestly, I thought I was going to do it in like 20 minutes. Is there a t-shirt? Just kidding. Is there really? Oh. There's a t-shirt. Sweet. Here's the t-shirt I didn't know that I was going to win. And a sweet certificate. It's loud. We're right next to the highway. And we're going to see if we can do a kickflip with a stomach full of steak. One more time. Alright, that's better. We're done. I still think that kickflip was terrible, but we'll get it.
guys are familiar with Mobland, I believe. Some of you, you're fans of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Tom Hardy's obviously a big component of that, but he's gotten into a bit of trouble recently. Now, the initial reports going around were that he'd been fired from season 3. He wasn't going to be coming back for it. Now it seems to have been softened to, like, they're in active negotiations with him to try and find a way to resolve this. But the fundamental problem is still remaining. He's annoyed a lot of people on set, and he's proven to be quite difficult to work with on this show, which is actually kind of a running theme throughout his career. But there's an article here from Hollywood Reporter talking about this. So if you indulge me a little bit, I'll see if I can just give you the highlights here. In fact, I will share screen so you can see it as well.
Yeah, there's been a couple of articles which have come out and changed the story. Variety came out with another one, but they all agreed on the same problems, which makes it very likely that we know what the issues were.
Yeah, exactly. It says here, I'll go down to the quotes here. Yes, he refused to come out of his trailer for hours at a time, the source says about Hardy's on-set behavior on season 2, which has spooked producers into rethinking his future. He kept the cast waiting, which is a power play. Keeping Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, and others waiting is career suicide, I would wager. There's other things down here. Yeah, it kind of talks about how in other movies he's done, particularly like Fury Road, George Miller had a lot of problems working with him, and he clashed badly with Charlize Theron. And it said Tom has a damage to him, but also a brilliance that comes with it. And whatever was going on with him at the time, he had to be coaxed out of his trailer. Whereas Charlize was incredibly disciplined, a dancer by training, which told in the precision of her performance, and always the first one on set. I'm an optimist, so I saw their behavior as mirroring their characters, where they had to learn to cooperate to ensure mutual survival. There's no excuse for it, and I think there's a tendency in this business to use great performances as an excuse for other disruption that could be avoided.
Yeah, I love the idea that he keeps turning up late, and George Miller's like, "Oh, you got a method," and Tom Hardy's like, "Huh?
Method?"
Yeah.
Apparently on Mobland, he also like insisted on script revisions as well. Like he tried to like alter quite a bit of it, which again didn't sit well with people. And yeah, Patrick Stewart also talked about working with him way back when they did Star Trek Nemesis together. Said, I didn't have a single exciting scene to play, and the actor who portrayed the movie's villain Shinzon was an odd, solitary young man from London. His name was Tom Hardy.
He also said when he left the set for the final time, he turned to like Data and said, "That is a man we will never hear from again." And then he said, well, "I'm glad to be proven wrong," but he clearly, from his attitude meeting him, thought he was a complete off.
Mauler, you and I have a mutual friend who's worked with him, as it turns out. I can tell you about it later, but yeah, he mirrored a lot of the same comments. He's quite a difficult chap to work with. And it does seem to be a bit of a running theme for him. And yeah, I'm just kind of curious, like, what this is going to ultimately end with, because, you know, once you're publicly smeared like this as being difficult, that is like career suicide in Hollywood.
Well, you know, Edward Norton's still like, you know, he's still working. And he sort of, yeah, I mean, I know that I agree that it probably is less than before, but you know, he still gets opportunities even though he's got that reputation. But you're right. I mean, it is, yeah, it could pose a bit of a problem.
And it's a shame with something like Mobland because, you know, it's a great show. His performance was superb in it. And yeah, I think it's been ruined just by like clashes on set and just him being a bit of a dick. Like, that's a real shame when clashing personalities like get in the way of something like that.
I don't know how you do Mobland without him though, because it's told from his perspective, and he's like the go-between, the person that sets up the stuff, the person who acts all the plans. And so without him, I'm not sure you have a show. Unless
Have they wrapped season 2? Have they got all of season 2 done?
They've got it done, yeah.
Because one thing they could do then is kill him at the end of it, get one extra scene.
But I think I'm inclined to agree with Disbury that it feels like he's sort of everything sort of revolves around his character, so it'll be a tough transition.
I'm
they
saying,
want to
like,
do
I don't
season
know.
3.
Yeah, because like the only option they have is to not necessarily. I don't think they recast. I think they just move to a different character. But is there an easier way to slot that in other than writing him in for one episode of season 3 and killing him in that? I just assumed they'd kill at the end of season 2.
Your problem then, though, is if you don't recast and you go with a new character, are you just going to replace the character who does exactly the same stuff with a different actor? And we're supposed to
Probably.
like, oh yeah, they got another fixer.
That's
That's
his brother.
It's
yes. It's a difficult one to resolve because, like you say, like his character is central to the show, and Tom Hardy's physical presence on screen is just very magnetic in that show, and he's very important to the success of it. So, get rid of him like that, and then just replacing him with someone else. That's a pretty cheap move, and I could see it like losing a lot of his viewers. I mean, maybe they can resolve this. Maybe they can put him under some kind of like contract where it's like, okay, you need to be there on time. You need to like show up and do the work. Maybe it is depends how much he needs this. Really, very much.
Earl? Earl already ready? So a little show down there? Yeah. Oh.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da. So we're just singing in the church or downstairs?
Church.
Church?
Church, yeah.
You put some in there to heat it up.
I just put no. I just warmed it up in the microwave.
for value and which ones will call you. Right? This game, are you trying to, what are you trying to extract value from with 5-5? You're literally targeting ace 10. You know Phil had a 10, right? That leaves 1 10 and 3 aces. So, or 4 aces actually. So you're targeting 4 possible combos you hope I might have with the 9-9. Now, if he had Jack 10 off, or sorry, Jack 10 or 10 8, those are probably your best hands to actually turn into bluffs, right? So, because you have to have some bluffs when you check raise this river. And the best bluffing candidates are the ones that block the combination, all those combinations of full houses, which is having a 10. If you know Phil had one and I had one, well, that leaves for me only having, 9s or 5s, right? Which is only, a limited number of combinations there. So from Patrick's perspective, what he should be thinking is, Daniel bets this river after pot, which is a polarizing sizing, right? Very, very strong, complete bluff, right? Very, very strong or complete bluff. If that's the range you're up against, very, very strong or complete bluff, your 5s beat the bluff and lose to all the nutted hands. All of them. There isn't a single one. Like I said, ace 10 probably checks back on that river. So, now it's up to me. What do I do here? With all that I've said and all you've understood, it's 100 to win 2. Right? Yeah, like so 50, 3 to 1 I'm getting. So it's 200 in the pot. So I'm getting 3 to 1, right? Means I have to, good boy. Thinking, doggy's all interested. He wants to know, what do you think? Would you call Patrick? Would you call Patrick in that spot? He's like, fold. So in this spot, the only hands I can really beat is if I think Patrick is turning like 10 jack or 10 8 into a bluff. I don't think he's doing that. And I don't think he has 10 8 offsuit, right? So that leaves like 10 8 suited, right? And there's, only a couple of those, only 2 of those. And then, the 10 jack, right? Do I think he's really trying to make it into a bluff in this spot very often? Hardly, probably not at frequency. Almost assuredly not at frequency, especially when he considers the fact that, like, I'm not folding. Right? Like, it's so mind-boggling that I studied this for 70 hours, and now that I'm doing the video, I'm like, but like, for me, when I factor in the combinations of hands that he has, I don't factor in 5 because Patrick's a good player, right? Patrick would not do that with 5 5s. So it leaves Queen 10, some 9 10 offsuits, which I'm really not that thinking he opens, right? But 3 combinations of Queen 10, because we know that Phil folded a 10, and not queens. So 3 combinations of nuts, and then other value. If we eliminate 5s as we should, because he's not supposed to ever do that with 5s, it leaves just the bluffs. And I don't think that he's going to be bluffing the frequency, which makes this actually an elementary fold, right? Patrick did say after the hand, because I asked him about it, and he said, like, he's used to playing against bad players. And this is sort of what I kind of was referencing earlier when I talked about a tweet where I said, sometimes playing against really bad players for a long period of time can create bad habits in your own game. And sometimes playing against really good players, can be beneficial. And I noticed that, like guys like Tom and Patrick, they both play in games with a lot of bad players, and they do a lot of things that are suboptimal, in really good spots. So it's one of the weirdest situations where, and listen, it is what it is. Like, I would play the hand exactly the same way. The only thing, sometimes I'm going to raise flop to get more action or whatever, but like, as played, I would play exactly the same way in the exact same spot. I bet you if you asked Patrick, he would not, right? Which leaves you with, okay, when a hand is over, if you would do exactly the same thing as you would previously, you got to be good with it. Such is life. If you feel like you would have played it differently because of something you did that was a mistake, then that's where it is. So I do think one player in this hand made a mistake. I think that was Patrick. Okay, I don't think my fold is a mistake in the long run. Now, you guys are going to look at it and be like, well, how could you fold? It's 9's full, right? And I know you are the exact same people in the comments right now. Exact same group that would be like, what a punt. Why would he call off when Patrick check raises there? He obviously has Queen 10, right? He obviously has it. You're the same group of people. I know you are, right? And you don't bother me, I promise, because I'm very happy with making the fold. Very bizarre, interesting situation where, like, Patrick just way overplayed a hand, and the lesson he really ultimately is something we've talked about. But when you are value betting or value raising, ensure that what you're targeting, as far as the hands that your opponent can have for value, forget the bluffs. You don't need to worry about the bluffs. The bluffs fold, right? If I'm value betting and you're value raising me, right? Think of the entirety of the range that I can have. I can have all the 9-10s. I can have all the queen 10s. I could have 9-9. Those all beat you, right? Do you really targeting 9-9, hoping because I'm obviously going to call with 9-10. I'm going to call with queen 10. So do you really think that this is worth, turning into a bluff? Certainly not, especially when you don't block the 10. As we talked about, one of the better bluffing combos to do that with is 10 Jack or 10-8, where you feel like, man, I know.
What they play? Raise call, let go. Good luck, Dennis. Thank you. Check, check. We're gonna draw my screen here. 6.6 in the middle. Hi Dennis, how are you doing? Привіт, Олександре, дякую, все добре. Бачу, чи спрацювало, а? Queen 10 we have. Queen 10 we open the raise. Seriously, I would play. Queen 7-5. Check. I'm not sure like how often Diego gonna buy that. Probably quite often. If sizing is small. Then some no. And a deuce. 17 behind. Very interesting. What is gonna be? Yeah, 2.3. Lies out there. Ace 10. This one is playable. Let's raise it more. If I get 3 bucks, I have to fold. Give anyone 3 bucks actually. I have to block. He calls. He wants to see a flop. Actually, he's flattened a lot. I mean, maybe always. 786. I kinda buy that, bro. I have a blocker, and I have the same amount of 10-9 student. I have sets as well. I have overpairs. So, like, the most important part that is overpairs, like aces, kings, and all that stuff. Now on turn, I'm always check. I have no bites there. It's just he has priority on the turn. Because, like, I bet a lot of overpairs, like aces, kings, jacks, queens, whatever. And now we have to protect our range, so I'm not blocking his flush draw, like run a flush draw. I mean, I'm blocking. That's not good. He bets small. So, like, we still have to call some jacks, I think. Aces, probably. Like, he has Jack 10 only of clubs or spies, like it's like 2 combos. That's it. Unfortunately, he has ace 10. So I got lucky that I hit the stride, but the problem that he hits a stride as well, so. Ace King suited. Oh, that's a premium. Premium package. And we will size up as always. Inside the mix, we don't have any 4 buys. only under super ICM circumstances, whatever. So we just try. And we open raise ace nine. I just bet small. Uh, 150, I busted. I busted from almost all tournaments. I have 1K GG Masters, 10K GG Netherlands, and 1200 satellite with 10K. Mm. What happened? I lost side against straight. Maybe I overplayed my side actually. I side one guy straight into like check raise human jump for weather. That's it. So yeah, let's buy it, bro. Why not? I check as well. Check also good. What he is calling pre-flop, like he has some suited hands, he has pocket pairs, right? Sevens, jack down suited. A6 suited, queen king, queen jack suited. But what he is bluffing on the turn? Runner, flusher. What you got there? I mean, just to bluff. What you can bluff? Yeah, like on one hand, like we have a good hand, like to call because we have pair plus catcher, but also like what he's bluffing there. Runner ace 10. Not really. I don't think so. I don't think that he has any bluffs. Like, I think he just checks a lot and that's it. Like in when he bets there.
Hey, Shaq. Well, Draymond don't talk as much since he having that triple single.
Let's go. What do you want to call it, Chuckster? I just want somebody to punch him in the face.
I really do. I just want somebody to punch him in the face. Oh, you don't like Draymond? I want to punch him in the face. I'm telling you, I want to punch his ass in the face. I do.
So Draymond Green had 9 minutes and 44 seconds of this one before being ejected.
He had his normal triple single. No, man. He talks all that stuff when he got them other boys with him. As he got out there and fight for himself, he just don't want to play. Give me a break.
Draymond Green, how do you think you would do as a reporter? As an analyst.
So he's got the perfect face for radio. He don't have a TV face. Yeah, he don't have a TV face. I think that we're both undersized. He's probably a better defender. He's clearly not a better scorer, a better rebounder, but he's a better shooter. They guard you. Come on, man. I love when guys talk about guys who can play good defense. I'm like, nobody gonna stop me. Okay, what annoys you? Number one, he's never committed a foul. Sometimes when he starts yelling and screaming, or he doesn't admit he committed a foul, it drives me nuts. Okay.
Here's Draymond Green early on.
Go ahead, Steph. Kevin, I miss y'all.
Yeah.
How you gonna have me out here without Kevin? How you gonna have me out without Kevin, Clay, and Steph?
He picked up at halftime. This dog made a hoop.
Yeah. He had a better chance of scoring than most of those ones. I was like, is Draymond playing tonight? Hey, Shaq. Draymond don't talk as much since he having that triple single. We were talking, and yesterday they told me you went out to the Cleveland Browns and kicked some field goals. In your spare time, did you go kick field goals? Nah, man, I ain't need to kick no field goals. Where are you getting this information, Chuck? Because he's been kicking people. I have not been kicking people. I'm sorry, you missed him a couple times. Is Draymond Green as annoying every day as he is?
Are you going to ask this of every Warrior you ever talked to?
Has he ever committed a foul? Has he ever? Oh.
Ooh.
They accept me. I'm just this outsider from LA coming into this Palm Springs party where everybody knows each other in the school. So I asked him about that. I asked if they would even accept me there, being an outsider. He said this would not be a problem because I wouldn't be the only one there from out of the area. That in fact, at the previous two parties, he had invited other friends from out of the area who nobody knew, and these guys had a great time there, and they were accepted very well. So he said that he'll introduce me to everybody, and it'll be fine. Well, this sounded a little bit too good to be true. I was hoping it was true, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, right. Because I told him I didn't want to get a certain vehicle because of the amount of gas I would have to spend. It costs like $80 to fill it up. Then you said, when it gets to half, then you put $20, you bring it back to full. Yeah. But if I keep, I would have to stop often and still spend 80. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Why? You're complaining about when it gets to 0, you spend 80, right? When it gets to half, you put 20. Then when it get back to half, you put 20. Yeah, but I keep stopping, put 20 in it, it'll equal 80, the same amount of gas. I'm driving the same amount of gas. The average human stops once a week for gas, right? With you, you only work here 12. You probably have to stop maybe once every 2 weeks. Don't even try it. This is bordering on more than me. This is bordering on what's closer, the West Coast or the moon. You're telling me that I wouldn't have to, if I didn't let my gas get down, I wouldn't have to fill it up as much. No, I'm saying you're complaining about the $80. That's what the conversation about. You but 4 times 20 is 80 because I'm gonna stop 4 times. No, you're not gonna stop 4 times. No, you're not gonna stop 4 times. Not in 1 week, you're not. Anyway, the West Coast is closer than the moon. If you let it get to 0, right? Monday through Friday, right? Then you gotta pay 80 to fill it back up. Right. Okay, but if you let it get to half by Wednesday, then you pay 20. No, it won't get to half by. Right, by Wednesday it's gonna be 40, and then on Friday it'll be 40. Not 40, 20. Yeah. It's gonna be 20. No. It's gonna be 20. Not half. Half of 80 is 40. But no, this is what I'm saying. I am. Okay. So if every day, if I didn't, no, you don't have to put gas in every day. Don't play me right now. I'm not playing. Don't play me right now. I'm sorry. Like, I really want to know because Ernie, I want to get this car, but I listen. Want to save gas money. You're complaining about the $80. Yes. Right? So I'm complaining. Okay, so at 0 is 80. No question. All right. At full is 80, right? Yes. So if it gets to half, that'll be 40, right? No question about it. So if you put 20 in, then you bring back up to 3/4. Right? No, if I put 20 in it, it's a 1/4. Jeez, yeah. But it'll be 3/4. It'll be 3/4 full. 3/4 empty? No, 3/4 full. Wait, who's on first? You know what? Nobody travels more than me. What an entertaining show that was. A lot of unpredictable things happened. So, and I'm not talking anymore about gasoline and how much you fill up and do any other. Well, what if it was a hybrid? Oh, then that's a wrap. We're inside the NBA. Beautiful mind. Kenny Charles and Shaq Ernie Chico, I'm all right. We bid you a good night from Atlanta. We will see you for a game 1 of the New Orleans and Golden State. Right? Fill up that tank and drive carefully. Oh my God. Stand by my man. I actually got the supercar and it's $80 and it's still. I stand by it. Shaq, you still sticking to that? Yes, I am. What are you sticking to? 20 times 4 is 80. 40 times 2 is 80. You gotta get to 80. It's miles per hour. You gotta break it down. Yeah, break it down. Are we really doing this again? Just listen without judging. Without judging. Okay. Without judging you? Yeah, here's Orlando. That's impossible. Here's Orlando. If I pay 80.
trash talking is an art. I think probably to me, I may have missed some guys, but you and GP were the best at it. Where'd that come from?
I'm in the top 10.
I'm not in the top 5.
I always say that the trash talking, you got to be able to back it up, right? So the first thing about trash talking is, I would actually consider who was talking the trash, and then if they had the ability to back it up to whether I was going to actually engage with somebody. And then you got that, y'all know, you got the trash bag nigga out here talking shit like that. Shut up, nigga. When you shut niggas up and you just store at something, I'm just going. It seems like if the trash talking get to a point where I got you not talking no more, that's the worst thing you can ever do. In trash talking, you have to continue. I told you, so it's 2 ways to go in trash talk, no matter what. And if you decide to continue to trash talk and keep going, you got to keep it up. So the minute I not edge you out and now you not, you exhausted, you ain't got no more, man. Get this up, this nigga, man. I see blood. So right, it's over. I got to step on you, and that's how it usually was. But once I start seeing the trash talk affect people, it was different for me from how I used to.
Was there someone that you loved, you knew that motherfucker could back it up, and he was gonna talk it to you?
Believe it or not, y'all, Tim Duncan. Shout out to Timmy. Tim Duncan, people would not see him verbally saying stuff because he wasn't talking sentences. Timmy would hit you in phrases. Got you. Almost. Just the worst right here. Nice try. Like subtle shit. No gangster shit. No real hardcore shit. Just subtly. Just back your ass up and put you back in like this over here. Like, you know, and then what really pissed me off is when the trash talk wasn't affecting them. So now you be spending all this energy trying to rile us up. You forgot about your own game. You forgot about they coming to you that you're supposed to. And then that's when I actually would quit talking trash to Tim because he wouldn't respond or he wasn't giving me the reaction I was saying. I can't really get hype on this thing. Ain't even giving me nothing. Looking now, start, doing a little, the shoulder shit and he will react to that. Yeah. Next thing you know, Timmy got 20, 20, 15.